Hi there, I'm Marie. Today I want to share with you how to crochet these lovely pumpkins. They make great table decorations for Thanksgiving. You can make any size of pumpkin with this pattern because it can be easily adjusted. I'll explain how you can tailor the size later in the video. I'll be using size 4 acrylic yarn and a size 4 milliliter hook for this project. For pumpkins, I reduced by one size the recommendations on the yarn label because the pumpkin will stretch after they are stuffed with filler. Other supplies you need are about half a meter of brown color yarn for the stem, both a 3-inch darning needle and a regular size one, a pair of scissors, a marker, and fiber fill material. To begin, tie a slip knot, then chain 32. Next, chain 2. This chain 2 counts as a half double crochet stitch. Now, do a half double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. We'll work our stitches into the back bumps for our base chains. This way, the stitches won't stretch as much when we join the piece together later. To do the half double crochet, first you yarn over, then insert the hook into the back bump and pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Let's mark our first stitch so that we don't miss it when we make our next pass. Mark the top of the chain 2 stitch. Continue working the half double crochet for the rest of the chains. At the last chain, do a half double crochet. Moving on to row 2, chain 2. This chain 2 counts as a half double crochet. Turn the piece over. So this stitch here is the first stitch of the row. The chain 2 is sitting on the far right, so it's not lined up perfectly and can be confusing. We work our stitch in the back loop to get a raised ridge effect. Insert the hook into the middle of the heart-shaped stitch, bypassing the front loop. Work each stitch into the back loop. You can see the ridge formed by the front loops. Repeat the same stitch pattern all the way across. This chain 2 with the marker is the last stitch of the row. Put the stitch on top of the chain 2. You should have 32 stitches for the row. For row 3 and all subsequent rows, repeat row 2. Okay, I've done 41 rows. The height is a little over 7 inches and the width is 6 3/4 inches when folded in half. This is a way to check your dimensions for a regular size pumpkin. Folded in half, it should look approximately like a square. If you want a taller pumpkin, add a few more base chains. And for smaller pumpkins, reduce a couple of rows. Next, we'll join both ends together to form a tube. We are picking up where we left off. Chain 1 and turn the piece over. Fold the piece together with the stitches lined up on both sides. Remove the hook from the back. Insert the hook from the front. Pull up a loop and make a slip stitch. Next, insert the hook from the front and pick up the back loop only at the back. And make a single crochet. I'll show you a few more and then show you the join line on the other side. Here you can see the ridge matches up with the one next to it. Repeat the same stitch pattern until you reach the end. After you finish the last stitch, tie a slip knot and fasten off. Now turn the piece inside out. The join is practically seamless. Next, we'll close the openings with a simple running stitch. Run the stitch about 1 inch apart all the way around. Pull and tighten the yarn. Then tie a couple of overhand knots to secure it. Pull the loose ends inside the pumpkin and hide them. I tie a few more overhand knots before cutting the yarn. Do the same running stitch at the other end. Now, stuff it with fiber fill. cinch the opening with a few overhand knots. Pull the loose ends inside the pumpkin and hide them. We are not done yet. We need to make some indentations on the sides of the pumpkin to create a 3D effect. Use a 3-inch long darning needle with double strands of yarn. Thread the yarn from one end and pull it out the other. Cut the yarn, and we now have 4 strands. Tie them together and set them aside for now. We need to thread 4 more strands for a total of 8. After you have 8 strands in place, you can use them to make 8 grooves or indentations on the side of our pumpkin. To locate the other end of a strand, simply pull gently on it and watch for the end that moves at the other side. Pull the yarn tight until you have made a good indentation. Then tie a few overhand knots to secure it in place. Hide the loose ends inside the pumpkin each time you have completed making a groove, so that you don't confuse them with the untied ones. Continue working all 8 strands of yarn, spacing each one as evenly as you can. Next, we'll make a stem and attach it here. First, chain 5 for the foundation. Follow with a chain 1, skip 1 chain, and then do single crochet in the next 5 chains. Moving on to row 2. Chain 1 and turn the piece over. Do single crochet across. There are 5 single crochets in this row. Now, slip stitch to join with the beginning stitch to form a tube. We'll close the top when we weave in the loose end later. Moving on to round 3. Chain 1. Do single crochet in the first and second stitch. On the third stitch, we'll do a stitch increase. So, put 2 single crochets in the third stitch. That's 1. And 2. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. and then slip stitch to join with the beginning stitch. We finish with 6 single crochets in this round. For round 4, we will again do a stitch increase. Chain 1. Do single crochet in the first and second stitch. On the third stitch, put 2 single crochets in it. That's 1 and 2. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Slip stitch to join with the beginning stitch. We finish with 7 single crochets in this round. For round 5 and 6, we repeat the same pattern. We do 1 stitch increase in the middle of the round. Go ahead and do round 5 and 6, and I'll show you how to do round 7, the final round. By the way, you can get the written pattern in the description box below the video. Moving on to round 7. Chain 1. Do single crochet in the first and second stitch. Then increase on the next stitch. So put 2 single crochets in the same stitch. That's 1 and 2. Repeat the same pattern again. Single crochet, another single crochet, then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Repeat the pattern one more time. We finish with 12 single crochets in this round. The stitch increase only on one side gives the stem this natural curved shape. Next, we'll close the top here. I'm sewing the sides together using the invisible stitches. Close the top with overcast stitches. Tie a slip knot inside the stem. Next, we'll attach the stem to a pumpkin. I fill the stem with fiber fillers. Position the stem on top of the pumpkin and secure it with pins. Now sew it on using a running stitch or overcast stitch. Just go around until it is secured. try making these in different colors and sizes. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.